Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a review. Many of you have been asking me to review the new Aqua Luminous foundation by Becca Cosmetics. I wanted to kind of talk to you guys a little bit about it and give you a demo on how it applies with a beauty blender and with a kabuki brush. But before doing that, I wanted to talk to you guys specifically about the foundation, what shade fits me, how many foundation shades there are. So just so that you know, the Becca foundation is $44 and the shade that fits me and is a little bit dark, just a little bit, I pull it off very well though, is the medium shade. I sometimes do wear the beige shade and mix it with the medium sometimes, but if you are around an NC42, the medium shade, you're probably gonna really appreciate it. One con about the foundation is that there are only 8 shades, ranging from a very fair foundation to a deep bronze, so you can see the difference right there. But these shades are meant to be for many skin tones. I do love the foundation. It is more on the dewy side, so if you are more matte with your foundations, you're probably not gonna really like this unless you do set the foundation, and that is what I do. I set the entire foundation with either a translucent powder or any powder that I do use when I'm going out, because I'm not really a dewy type of foundation type of girl, because I like having my control with my dewiness. I kind of just apply the highlight and I'm good to go. But I actually really appreciated this foundation because of the fact that it's very lightweight and buildable. As you're gonna see, when I do apply the foundation with one drop, meaning like you kind of pick it up and you apply it either on the brush or on the sponge, it is going to be enough for you to kind of cover your imperfections. If you want, you can add another coat and it's going to cover a little bit better. In terms of how long the foundation lasted, I want to say 5 hours. Pretty good without reapplying or having to reset a powder. I don't suggest using this foundation without a translucent powder because it will move, so definitely set the foundation unless you want to be extra dewy. In terms of the packaging, this is how the packaging looks like. It's a matte container and it has this button which is a dropper. You kind of just push it and it picks a product, as you can see, and you just apply it either on your brush, with your hands, however you want to apply it. But that is how the packaging looks like. If you're wondering how much product it contains 1 fluid ounce. It's kind of typical for foundations to carry 1 ounce of product, but it's a very kind of like clean look to the foundation. I appreciate the packaging a lot actually, and at first I wasn't really digging this dropper, but then I realized it's actually really good for bacteria, so I appreciate it now. The skin types that I suggest this foundation for are those of you who are very dry or drier, and possibly combination. I don't really suggest this on those of you who are oily. You're probably going to not like it even if you set it. But if you want to try it, definitely set it with a translucent powder and it should last a little bit more and move around less. And another thing that I did appreciate is the fact that it doesn't really smell like anything, because it smells like something, but it doesn't smell like any type of scent that's going to be uncomfortable, especially for those of you who are kind of like picky on what things smell like, because I certainly am, and sometimes I refuse to use some products because of the way that they smell. I think those are my only suggestions and things I wanted to let you guys know about the foundation before you do go ahead and purchase it. But now I'm going to be showing you the shades. I'm going to be swatching all 8 shades so that you can see whether you see a shade that's going to match you or at least help you out in selecting your shade. And it has a dropper, so I'm going to be pushing this to get some product, applying it on the beauty blender, and I'm doing 1 drop. And I did not apply a primer, just so that you guys can see how it applies without one. I suggest using one though. It illuminates the skin right away. It's pretty dewy. I did get the brush that I believe is supposed to be used with this foundation, but to be quite honest, I didn't really like it. I felt like it would just sheer it out way too much, so I just used this brush to like contour and apply bronzer. So I did want to mention that. On this side of the face, I'm going to be using my Kabuki brush. This one is by Sigma. It's the 3D HD Kabuki. I'm going to be doing the same thing, just grabbing a little bit from the dropper and applying it on the brush. What I've noticed about this foundation, it has a very like sheer coverage and very natural, but it's definitely buildable. The coverage is very normal, but it's definitely buildable, and as you can see, it's extremely dewy. So if you're into dewy foundations, you're really gonna like it. And if you're dry, I think this is gonna be a perfect foundation for you, especially if you want some hydration in the skin. I think it covers very well with just applying one drop. It's very luminous, very hydrating. Your skin looks very natural. I feel like this type of foundation is something that I would wear when I want my skin to look hydrated and glowy. But now I'm going to move on and apply the rest of my makeup just so that you can see how it looks completely put on, but I will be back. So this is how the foundation looks like with a full face of makeup. I applied concealer, I also did set the under eye area, and I applied bronzer, and that was it. I did not set my foundation with powder, but I do recommend if you are a combination skin or have really oily skin for you to set the foundation because it will move around throughout the day. But I really love the foundation. I'm most likely going to be using this foundation when I want more of a glowy look. I prefer matte foundations, but I feel like this one isn't extremely dewy. I feel like you can definitely set it and it's not going to be ultra greasy looking, as some foundations can actually make your skin look. But I loved it. I feel like it's a very natural look, and I would highly suggest people who have really dry skin to really try out this foundation. I feel like it's gonna be perfect for that skin complexion or that skin feel. What do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts on the foundation. I really like how it kind of feels on the skin. It's very lightweight and you can't feel it. But I will say that if I kind of go like that, it will definitely smear off. So that's something to take into consideration if you aren't going to be setting the foundation. That's why I always set it, just because I'm kind of combination skin. But I really appreciate how the foundation feels and makes my skin glow very naturally. I hope you guys really enjoyed this review / demo. If you did, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you guys haven't. Bye guys!